Hello there, my name is Kitsune Zeta, and welcome to an update video or state of the channel video. So I'm gonna go over basically what my immediate and long-term plans are for the channel. So in the immediate future, my next Let's Play project, which will be going into the Monday slot, is actually this game that you see in front of you, 100 World Story. So, it's an older NES game. I'm playing an English translated version of it. But, it's definitely a game worth at least showing off. It's an interesting game in any case. So, beyond that, there's also a couple bonus videos for Whiplash that I need to get around to making. And those will be getting slotted into the corresponding getting slotted into the playlist in the appropriate spots. After in addition to 100 World Story, there's a couple other games that I am looking at and doing Let's Plays of. I might be doing Mutant Football League and trying its franchise mode out. I might drop the difficulty down a lot for it though, if only because I'm not sure I've been out of practice with it. I need to figure out what difficulty level's challenging for me, but not crushingly so. Other games I've looked at, I've actually wanted to do Bladestorm Nightmare for a while, to the point where I actually did have a little bit of recording about a year or so ago, which I ultimately threw out because it wasn't quite up to my standards. And considering how much my standards can fluctuate, that might be saying something. But on top of Bladestorm Nightmares, I've also been wanting to do Dynasty Warriors 8. Both the mainline Extreme Legends Complete Edition release and the Empires side game. Though for Empires in particular, it's going to require a bit of setup because I do want to actually get some involvement from viewers, like viewers submit characters. There's also been a couple of games I've been thinking about doing Let's Plays of. Recently released was a theme park building game by the name of Parkitect. It now has a campaign instead of just being a pure sandbox. But if I were to do that, I'd really want to do Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 because that was basically the 3D, that's basically the game that I compare it to, really. Now, since Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 cannot legally be obtained anymore, thank you, Atari, I want to prioritize getting that out because I actually have it. I actually have it on Steam from when it was available. I don't plan on doing Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 or 2 though. I've never really been too good at those. But beyond that, there's also I've also been looking at possibly doing Battleship Brigade, which I picked up from one of the Humble Bundles. And I also have a small collection of games that I've seen a lot of people do Let's Plays of their ports, including I think the one that I'm pretty sure Kikosuke has actually done, and all the ports of all of the games. Might be wrong on that, but that is the Valis Phantasm Soldier series, and I'm not going to be playing the Sega Genesis port or the NES or Super NES ports. Nah, I'm gonna be playing the the TurboGrafx or PC Engine originals. Yes, I've managed to get them working. No, I won't be able to tell you what the story is. May not have to have someone else translate for me for that. But that is a game I'm to be looking forward to. And later this year, I do plan on revisiting Whiplash for some technically unfinished business. Because there's one, we're gonna have one more playthrough of that, and the difficulty is gonna be even harder, if you can believe it. Now, I have mentioned that that 100 World Story is going in the Monday slot. I do plan, once I get a decent buffer of Let's Play videos as recorded and prepped, I plan on having 2 days a week where Let's Play videos go up for 2 different series. The other day is gonna be Friday. I've pretty much settled on that one already. Now, on top of the Let's Play videos, I do plan on doing streams. You might have, those of you that were religiously watching my channel like a hawk might have caught the stream that I had on Friday. But basically, I plan on playing a bit of games on streams. And one of the games that I'm considering for that is actually Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And that's only because it's generally a game that I can relax to, oddly enough, even though it's a strategy game. Divinity Dragon Command is also another one that I'm probably gonna do on stream, if only because there's plenty of opportunity for viewer interaction on that, and in turn plenty of opportunities for viewers to completely screw me over. But I'll live. And there's also a couple other games that I'd probably be streaming, but I'll wait until I actually decide to stream those before unveiling them. And some of them I do want to do a lot of research into before I get started. Now, on top of the streams and the Let's Plays, there's one other thing that I'm probably gonna get back to, namely some older projects. A couple of years back, I had released a work in progress rule set for Fantasy Grounds that would allow people to play the OVA RPG. That's OVA, the anime RPG. It was work in progress, and I haven't really sat down and worked on it since then. And I kind of want to remedy that. So soon I'm gonna start working on that again. And with that's gonna come, I'm gonna occasionally make a little update video showing off the rule set as it's evolving. Now, when I initially released the work in progress, I did so actually on the official forums for both Fantasy Grounds and separately the official forums for OVA. And Clay Gardner, the actual author of the rulebook, actually gave me a little bit of feedback and was generally impressed. His chief bit of feedback was mostly the use of the standard core RPG Fantasy Chrome skin, which is one of the things I plan on changing as I work on it. I have actually gotten knowledge on how to actually do it, on how skinning works, mostly. Some of it I'm still gonna have to learn as I go, but considering that was my first ever project first project in a long time I've actually released, and more so that was my first rule set or anything for Fantasy Grounds that I've released in any condition. And my first project that I did with Lua. I considered that really good feedback. It's like I was doing things, definitely doing things right with it. So I'm gonna get back to, I'm gonna get around to working on that rule set some more so that it can be more feature complete. I ultimately want the quality of it to be on par with the various Smiteworks published rule sets. Dungeons and Dragons, Savage Worlds, even Pathfinder. But that's ultimately going to come down to if I can get all the stuff working right. And part of it's also going to come down to if I can get it decent art for some of the stuff, because while I can sort of make kind of placeholder button images, some of it I really have ideas on what I'd really like to see for the artwork on it. And it's mostly the buttons. But yeah, that's gonna come down to whether that part's gonna come down to whether I can get it artwork for it. And another thing that might also affect how I release that is whether or not I can actually get permission for distributing any part of the rulebooks alongside the rule set as a module. Now, there's like 3 books that I can probably make the case for including, mainly because those are the 3 player books available for free, but they don't cover all the rules. They just give you a sample player and the sample players, the player relevant rules, and the skill descriptions. Oddly enough, the set skills descriptions are tailored specifically for the character. But if I were to go the route of trying to get all the sample characters in there as in a module, I'd probably have to get with Clay Gardner on that so that he can actually write proper fluff text, because in the actual full book, the actual complete OVA rulebook, you just get the general description for all the abilities, not the descriptions with character-specific flavor text. And considering how I've already got the character sheets implemented, I really want every sample character to have character-specific flavor text for its skills. But that's just pipe dreams at this point. Really, I want to first make sure the rule set is effectively feature complete. Might even toss in a couple things that aren't normally in the rules to allow people to mess with. But yeah, that's basically my state of the channel for 2019. I do plan on having a better state of the channel video that'll more properly show off things like what's in my Steam library, for instance. Because I've got plans for making such a video, but it would take me way too long to get it done, and I want to have a state of the channel video in between my Let's Plays. So, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Next week, Homeworld Story on Monday.